What's going on, you guys? What's going on? What's going on? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we are here for another review of the Murder Inc. Documentary. Okay, we're here for another review of the Murder Inc. documentary. I am enjoying this documentary like completely. I want you guys to know that this is a pretty good documentary. I enjoyed it. I'm loving hearing like the behind the scenes stories about everything that went down. It's basically nostalgic for me. This is during the time when I was in middle school. Murder Inc. was hot from about 99 to about 2005, pretty much. So that's like from fifth grade all the way to about 10th or 11th grade. It was hot all the way up in like, so these were my important years of my life. So, and I was a huge fan of Murder Inc. Like Ja Rule was one of my favorite rappers. Ashanti was one of my favorite singers. I loved Murder Inc. Like I still have all their albums. Like I love me some Murder Inc. So I feel like I'm gonna say this shit every time we do a review on this. I think I'm pretty much the only one that's doing reviews on this. And to be honest, I think I am. But other than that, y'all, I am enjoying this documentary. But before we get into more details about this documentary, let's talk about what's coming up. We got the Boys Night Out panel. It will be this Friday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. That's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Time. We will be back for Boys Night Out. Yes, indeed. It will be myself, Jamar, T, and Maddie. Josiah won't be able to be in attendance on Friday night, but however, the other four of us, we will be there. Be sure to watch. We're gonna have us a good ass time as we always do. Okay. So shout out to the Boys Night Out panel. So we're gonna go ahead and get right on into this review of the Murder Inc. story. Okay, so in so many words, they did the Jay-Z and DMX tour, and it was like the Hard Not Life tour, and Jay Z had DMX. I think they was the two headliners of the tour. And then Ja Rule would come out and perform "Can I Get Her" with Jay Z. So during this time, we're trying to figure out, okay, he gave us the verse on "Can I Get Her," so what he gonna do by himself? So with that tour, Murder Inc. was born. So after that tour happened, that's when they decided to give Irv his own record label, which is Murder Inc. Records, Murder Inc. Entertainment, whichever one it is, they decide to give him his own record label. So then we're introduced to Ja Rule. As you guys already know, I think, like I just said already, the very first time we really saw Ja Rule was when he came out with the "Can I Get a Verse?" You know what I mean? And everybody know, "Can I get a what? And the chickens, I don't know my thugs who don't love though and get no do. Can I get a and my ladies, all of my ladies who ain't got love with plans without dust. Now, can you bounce with me? Bounce with me. Can you bounce with me? Bounce with me. I used to love that song. Okay, that was like fourth grade year. Love that song. Okay, so "Can I Get It" was a big record. Okay, so at this point, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with Ja Rule. Like, okay, he got this big ass, he got a verse on one of the biggest records out. So what exactly is he going to bring to the table? So while they were recording his album Vini Vidi Vici, Ja Rule felt like, I don't have anything that'll set this record off. I don't have nothing that will set this album off, and I really need something to set it off. So as they were sitting there trying to figure out what they could do to set this album off, he heard the beat go like dun 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 dun, dun. And then he was trying to find a different hook for it, and it was just like he could not find a good hook. He give it to Irv, and Irv was like, I don't like that. Then he had like three hooks. And after he got to the third one, this is what we got. Holla, holla, everybody that's ready to get dollars, dollars in this soul. Kick it up a little hotter, hotter. Come on, if you rolling with me, holla, holla, it's murder. That's the song that you know as Holla, Holla, which became a big record for Ja Rule and back in 99, the summer of 99, okay? So the single was big, okay? They just knew that it was going to be a good song, a big song. They started playing it on the radio. So everything was good. But then, you come out with Vini Vini Vici, the record comes out and sells 3 million records, but it was a disappointment to Irv because I've had these other artists like DMX and Jay-Z, and these niggas go 5-time platinum and the other one goes 7-time platinum. DMX get 2 7-time platinum albums, and I give you Ja Rule, and he only gets to sell 3 million records. But Ja Rule, on the other hand, was like, I was just happy to sell 3 million records. Hell, I wanted the album to be gold. I wanted to at least go gold so I could know exactly what to do the next time to bring the success up. So Ja Rule was on his humble shit. But because Irv Gotti has been in this A&R position, he broke these artists. Jay-Z and DMX, he broke these big ass artists. They're doing big ass numbers on their first tries. So it's kind of like, okay, what we gonna do? But even Irv Gotti was laughing because even he knew that 3 million records was nothing to be shabby about. 3 million records was big. 3 million records, most people back then wanted to sell those. And I know back then album sales was a bit different, like 5 million, because people ain't selling 5 and 6 million records no more. They barely selling 1 million records these days. So it's funny to hear Irv Gotti, talk about how 3 million records was a disappointment to him. But you look at today's rap music, you would be lucky to sell that many records now, but people don't buy music no more. Like, they just stream it now. So that's just what it is. But to their credit, they did realize why there wasn't any like 3 million records is big. There's no way around that. But they felt like it could have been bigger, but they did not have anything else on the album that was as urgent as Holla Holla. And I really feel like Holla Holla was really the only single off this album. If I'm not mistaken, they may have put Can I Get Her on the album too. But as a standalone, I think Holla Holla was the only one. And I guess they felt like they didn't have anything else to put out there. And that's sometimes that can happen. And I know a lot of artists do a lot of the music that they want, but then they try to make music for the radio. It's kind of like with Tweet's album Southern Hummingbird. And I know she ain't got nothing to do with Murder Inc., but they're just like with Tweet's album Southern Hummingbird. When you hear Oops Oh My on the radio and when you hear Call Me on the radio, that's what you think that you're going to get off this album. But when you listen to Southern Hummingbird, all you really hear is these beautiful guitar written records, these neo soul records that you didn't even think that she was doing, because all you heard was, oops, there goes my shirt up over my head, oh my, or call me, ooh, when you need me, baby, you don't have to worry. We can do something. Call me, oh, when you need me. See, those are the two records that you hear, but when you hear the album, it's totally different. So I think that's where we're going with it. So then they put together the Murderers album. Okay, they put together this Murderers album, and then you got Cadillac Ty. Cadillac Ty was a rapper that I felt like never got the chance to really pop. I feel like with Murder Inc., because Ja and Ashanti were the biggest things out there, nobody was really paying attention to the other people that was out there. And I always wanted Cadillac Ty to become bigger than what he was, because he was pretty much a wingman to Ja Rule and Irv Gotti. And I wanted more for Cadillac Ty, to be quite honest. So then we get Black Child. Black Child was a person from the streets. He was really good friends with Ja Rule. When Ja Rule would be recording, he would bring Black Child with him. Black Child had skills. I don't think Black Child was ever able to release a solo album of his own, but he was always on everybody else's albums. He was always on the compilation records. But I don't think Black Child ever got to the point to where he could release his own album, which I really feel like sucks, because he was a pretty good rapper, but I think the street shit was getting up in his way a bit. So, but then we get Vita. Vita. Who that chick be? Chick be. Vita. 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 Do. Vita. 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 Niggas know the name. Bitches know the name. VITA. Stay ahead of the game. What? What? 500,000 1 week, making it hard for you bros to eat. Who that bitch be? Bitch be. Vita, Vita, Vita. What? What? That was my shit, okay? That was my shit. Period. That was my shit. And not to mention, Vita had some of the most memorable verses on the Murder Inc. records. Like, what? Like, I could not think about Put It On Me without Vita being on there. And now we share the rocks and gifts that you caught me, baby, with a house on the hill when you drop like 80. And Don't get me started. What would I do without the nights that you kept me warm? What? What? And what people, little known fact, because they didn't mention this on the documentary, but Vita's sister was already in the industry. And if you don't notice, Vita's sister is Kima from the group Total. That was her sister. And a lot of people don't know that. And I wish people put more shine on that, but that was definitely her sister, Kima from Total. Okay. Kima was the one who barely sung because she didn't need to, because she can't sing that much, that good. But she always sung like the bridges and shit to the records on the Total records and shit like that. But the Murderous album came out and only sold like about 80K the first week, hit number 15 on the top 200 charts. You know, it was okay, but it really wasn't like the numbers that they really needed it to be. And it was to the point to where Ja Rule was being accused of biting DMX's style. You know what I mean? And there was a beef between Ja Rule and DMX. Like, people don't talk about that, but there definitely was a beef between Ja Rule and DMX, because DMX felt like Ja Rule was biting his style. I mean, they both had that same rigid, rugged type of thing they had. Like, they did sound similar, but DMX was more gritty, while Ja Rule was a little bit more commercial. And they did have a beef. They did. But nobody really talks about it. So then we come out with Rule 336. Probably his biggest album to date, okay? Probably his biggest one. Um, that's when he was introduced to ecstasy, the drug ecstasy. You know, he would be taking ecstasy pills and, getting on there doing records and shit. And then, Herb was like, he probably was high, and we hear the music and he thinking about his wife, and that's why all these songs were being made. And that's how Put It On Me was born, because he was talking about his wife, a girl that he was with since high school. You know what I'm saying? And Put It On Me was a song that was like everywhere. Like, Put It On Me was everywhere. Like, even my mama liked that song. Like, Put It On Me was probably one of my favorite songs of the 2000s. Like, Put It On Me ruled when I was in the 6th grade. Like, we all was fans of Ja Rule back then. It was everything. Then he came with the Between Me and You. Then they played Between Me and You, or whatever. And, everybody thought that this was a smash. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, um, the dude, I think his name was Lawyer, or whatever the fuck his name was. I know he was a white dude that thought he was a black dude, child, but he hated the album. He said it was the softest rap album he's ever heard in his life. And he wanted something like a Get At Me Dog. He wanted something like Jay-Z and DMX. Like, you got all these hard rappers and shit like that, and you come and you want to bring me this. You know what I mean? And back then, when people were doing songs like Put It On Me and Between Me and You, they was having an issue with that. They thought something was wrong with that. They didn't like it when rappers song and did sing-songy rap music and shit like that. But Ja Rule was the one who was doing it. He made it popular to do. You know what I'm saying? So he brings it to Ja that the dude don't like the album. Ja said, Irv, it's whatever you want. If you want to go back in the studio and do a whole nother album, we can do that. You know what I mean? But Irv said, nah, we ain't doing no other album. We ain't doing it. We ain't fucking doing it. We gonna put this shit out. This shit is too good for us not to put this shit out. So we finna put this out. I don't care what Def Jam got to say. We putting this album out. We gonna make these millions of records. We gonna sell these millions of records, and we finna do it, and we finna prove they asses wrong. And sure enough, they decided, okay, we'll let y'all put the album out. So Between Me and You was the first single, and he says, okay, I'll give y'all how many thousands of vinyls he gave? It was like a few thousand of vinyls that the dude said he'll give Irv. Now that ain't, like Irv said, that ain't shit. That ain't nothing. So what I decided to do, because I got these relationships with these radio programmers, I take the Between Me and You record to Power 106. They play it. They say it's a smash. I give it to Funkmaster Flex. He says it's a smash. So it's taken off by itself without no support. This is why you should always believe in yourself, in your craft, and in your work, because you never know who else is going to see it. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. And I'm watching that. That was an inspiration to me, because I'm not no musician. I'm a content creator, and I've been doing this shit for almost 12 years. October gonna make 12 years. People didn't pay me no mind till 2 years ago. But guess what? I stayed on this shit. And when I decided that I was going to do something, I did that shit. And bitch, I'm doing it. So this should be a reminder to everybody. Even if they don't believe in you, even if they don't believe in your work, still put it out. Still keep grinding. Still keep doing it. Because everybody's not going to like you. And that's just the thing. Ain't nobody gonna see the potential like you do. And sometimes you don't even see it in your own self, and somebody else sees it. It's one of those things. And because Irv believed in the project, he put it out there, and Between Me and You became a smash record. Then Put It On Me came out. It was huge. And it got retired on 106 and Park. I think Put It On Me was the first video to be retired on 106 and Park because the song was number one every day on 106 and Park. Every single day, just about, it was number one because they kept voting for it. It was a big ass song. You couldn't get away from it. It was everywhere. So then Earth starts taking ecstasy and he becomes a completely different person. People don't even recognize who Irving Lorenzo is. He is officially Irv Gotti after he starts taking the pills because he wasn't drinking, he wasn't smoking, he wasn't doing anything. He was more so focused on making good music. But at this point, he's focusing on getting pills in fucking holes. His words, not mine. Okay, his words though, not mine. Just letting y'all know, them ain't my words. Them his words. Period. Okay. So then Ja Rule takes off. Okay, he's like one of the biggest artists out there right now. Like he's big. He got hits on the radio. You can't get away from him. You just can't. And then 50 Cent is bubbling under. Okay, he's in the streets of Queens. Ja Rule and 50 Cent have a beef that goes back before the industry. Okay, Ja Rule was robbed, and 50 was with the dude that robbed him. Okay, and 50 starts dissing Ja Rule. And that's what a lot of clowns be doing. I'm just gonna tell y'all. This happens in any type of industry. Okay, like you see people get on records who's just now coming out. They start dissing people to get some attention, and then they eventually blow up or they don't. They either blow up or they flop. It's one or the other. They're gonna do whichever one. Even on YouTube, you got people that'll get up here who just started here, and then they start dissing this one and dissing that content creator and dissing that content creator and doing this, doing that to get some attention. Sometimes when you see like that, that's pretty much, I wouldn't say that's the rules of the game because I never decided to do that. I decided to build my shit the way I needed to. But sometimes people do that. They take that approach. They diss this person, they diss that person to get people talking. And it works. It works. I just ain't never been down with that. But it works. But if that's how you want to get your name out there, you go ahead. But that's how some people do. Like they'll diss the biggest person or one of the biggest names to get some attention. And when you diss a bigger name, you get attention. People are looking at you. People are talking about you. People are wondering, who is this person? Where did they come from? What are they about? You know, what their music about, what their content is about. What are they doing? That's what happens. I don't respect that because I ain't never did it. You know what I mean? But to each his own. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes you gotta do it if you want to get some quick results or you want to get people to talk. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So then 50 Cent and Ja Rule they fight. Then they fight again at the Hit Factory, and it shows who was really about what they rap about and who really wasn't. Because 50 Cent filed a order of protection against all of them. Right? Right. Okay. So now we're introduced to Ashanti. Shanti's a girl, young girl. She had two record deals before Murder Inc. She was always in the studio, always sitting there writing, always doing this. Fat Joe comes in. He has a big pun record and he needed a singer. He needed somebody on the record. And Fat Joe would always see Ashanti just sitting around in the studio, just sitting on the couch, just always in the studio. So he was like, what does old girl does? I mean, she's always in the studio. What does she do? What's she about? So they said, well, she sings. So they bring Ashanti in. She sings. That's How We Roll. Phenomenal. Does it the way that she needs to do it. Like she sung it. It was hot. I remember that song. Definitely remember that song. That was the first time we ever heard Ashanti on the record. So then Jennifer Lopez comes in. It's a record that Jennifer Lopez did. Now Tommy Mottola comes in and he wants to do They had just did a duet with Mariah Carey. Ja Rule just did one with Mariah. Tommy Mottola comes in and asks them to do a record with J-Lo just to piss Mariah off. So he wants to do a remix to the record I'm Real. Irv Gotti never really heard the original. So they just decided to make a whole remix and turn that song into a whole nother record because when you listen to the I'm Real original, it don't sound nothing like the one that we all know and love. So they do it. Ashanti referenced the record. I'm Real is released and it blows up. It's a number one record. Irv Gotti did confirm that J Lo did sing the record. She definitely sung the record, but because Ashanti referenced the song, they kept her background vocals on the record. So that's what happened. So J Lo did sing, but of course you're gonna hear Ashanti because her background's on the record. But Ashanti did co-write the record, and Ashanti wanted it for herself. And she said that multiple times already before. Then you get the Ain't It Funny record. After I'm Real takes off, they come back and they say they want another record. And it's another song that J-Lo already had called Ain't It Funny, and they wanted to remix it and flip it. So Ashanti writes the record. She also references the record. It's phenomenal. Ja Rule's on the record. Cadillac Ty is on the record. So when they put the record out, Irv Gotti notices that Cadillac Ty was taken off of the song. Like, not necessarily taken off of the song, but he wasn't credited, basically. So, because, on the press it says Jennifer Lopez featuring Ja Rule, when it should have been Jennifer Lopez featuring Cadillac Ty. Irv was pissed about it because of the fact that how y'all gonna take my artist off the record? Like Cadillac is on the record, like y'all are hurting him and his artist. Y'all taking his artist off of the record. Like, why would y'all do that? And then they was like, well, this is all about Jennifer, J Lo and Ja, J Lo and Ja, J Lo and Ja. Don't nobody really know Cadillac Ty. But I get where Irv is coming from because it's like, girl, like how you gonna sit up here and take this man off this record and then act like he was never on the record? Like, why even do that? He's in the video, all of that, but we ain't giving him no credit. You know what I mean? Like that could have helped him out as an artist. People would have been trying to come to him to get a record. But instead, they only see J-Lo and Ja Rule, like straight up disrespecting Cadillac Ty. Irv was not happy about it. So then he ruined his relationship with J-Lo because he was still pissed off about Cadillac Ty not getting no credit on the record. So when he did an interview, they asked, what's the record about Puffy? And then he said that it was. And then they was like, well, she said that it wasn't about him. And then he said, that bitch lying. It was. And I'm just like, so from that point on, that pretty much effed up any relationship that Irv could have had or ever had with J-Lo. Like Irv said, that was my big mouth. I should have never did that. I should have never done any of that. If I never would have said or done that, we would have still had a decent relationship. But because of me and my big mouth, and because I'm mad, I decided to do that. Sometimes when you have a big ass mouth, that will fuck you up. It will fuck you up. Sometimes having a big mouth is good for you, but then it's also detrimental to you. You don't want to always have a big ass mouth. You want to succeed, and you ain't gonna ever be able to succeed the way that you want to with those big ass chompers. You can't do that. So he fucked it up for him and J Lo. But Tommy wanted Ja Rule and wanted Murder Inc. to do more records for J Lo because those were her biggest records. But Irv fucked that up. And that's pretty much it for the second part of this Murder Inc. Documentary, y'all. I am so into this, y'all. I think y'all can tell. I'm very much into this. I'm loving every second of this, y'all. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all enjoy the next video that I'm about to do because this is a yes for the mess. I hope you guys enjoy it. So with that being said, y'all, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and also click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok will be down below in the description box. With that being said, Scotty by Nature is signing out, okay? And as I go, I will leave you all with the promo from Nova Cosmetics. This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.